I was only 2 weeks sober at the time, and it just completely opened my eyes to this other form of healing. You don't have to struggle anymore. As I was scrolling through Instagram and Passion pops up, and I'm like, that's it. If you feel stressed, if you feel anxiety, we've got anxiety reducing meditations. Turn it on. Take a few moments for yourself. Oh, the sales aren't doing that great. I'll just send out a newsletter, and then it just, brings a lot. We were the first to market anything like this in Canada. We didn't pay for marketing. Overcome the things that are standing in your way, like the bad habits, addictions. That's the thing that's really can stunt your growth and just crush your dreams.
Meet Carrie Bailey. Carrie is the co-founder of Zen and Meditation in Vancouver, Canada, and a visionary behind the transformative app, Everything Spiritual. With an influential presence on TikTok, Carrie shares her wisdom with a community of over 900,000 beautiful souls, uplifting them through her inspiring content. Carrie wears many hats: a certified Reiki master, sound healer, breathwork teacher, 200-hour yoga instructor, and a psychic and a manifestation coach. At Zen Den Retreats, Carrie welcomes you to join her for a journey of healing, empowerment, and spiritual growth. Carrie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, there's so much, we'll talk about all of that. So I'm really excited
Yeah.
about it. Let's start off with, what's your mission on this planet and what inflection point made you start your business?
My mission is to help others. So that was my whole driving force behind Zenden and how I actually got into this industry that I bind now. It was so transformative for me. It was actually a Reiki healing session that I took, and I was only 2 weeks sober at the time, and it just completely opened my eyes to this other form of healing, that you don't have to struggle anymore, and that's why I would go to AA, and I would see people say, oh, I still think about alcohol. There was like a 80-year-old man saying this, and I'm like, there has to be another way. I don't want to struggle and have to continue to struggle. So when I started to, apply these spiritual healing practices, I noticed the incredible transformation, the profound healing firsthand. And I was like, I need to introduce this to other people. And so this is Zen Den behind me. And I ended up, during the pandemic, it was the second lockdown here in Vancouver. I'm not sure how it was in other parts of the world, but we had two big lockdowns. And the second one, I was like, okay, I don't want to shove my face with food and do puzzles and watch documentaries. And I need to actually do something productive now. I don't want to just waste time. And so I figured, why not go on TikTok and use these instruments? And we built a following. And from there, people were like, I need more of you. This is amazing. This is healing. And this is helping me. Oh my gosh. Like, where can I find you? Go on Spotify. And people were asking, do you have an app? And so it was just the craziest thing how the universe works. As I was scrolling through Instagram and Passion pops up, and I'm like, that's it. This is what I can offer people, that we're wanting more of us. And so that's how I found you guys. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. And a lot of things opened up from there. And then we actually, the retreat, Zenden Retreats, came right after the app too, because we built, a following from all over the world, not just Vancouver anymore. And so, yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
I love that. Before I double click on that, just out of curiosity, in your previous life, what did you do before all of that?
I was an account executive for two cosmetic lines. So I started out as a makeup artist, and then I got into cosmetic industry. I was an account executive for Urban Decay, for Too Faced Cosmetics. And yeah, that was quite the journey as well. But I'm like, I don't really want to do, sales for makeup anymore. I wasn't really feeling the connection to that. And it was through that period that I went through my sobriety journey. And that's how it opened me up to all of this. Yeah. So
fast forward to today. So if I were a soul wandering around on social and discovering you, what's the core offer? What's the core offer that I would discover, and what value would I get?
The core. So, sorry, what was that? Kind of.
Yeah, what's the core offer? Like, is it the retreat? Is it the app? Like what's the main thing that you offer?
Oh, that's tough, because I feel like it's all, If you're in Vancouver, it's here at the studio. We're actually even expanding into a larger space. We've got over 10,000 square feet of space coming soon to Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. And we're expanding, we're growing. And so if you're in Vancouver, of course, come see us in person because there is such magic when you're actually receiving feeling the vibrations. But if you can't reach us, if you're, outside of Vancouver, then download the app, and even we sell that service as well as an add-on. If you come in for a session, don't just um, don't just leave your practice, your daily or weekly practice to in-person sessions. Have the app at your fingertips. Wake up. We've got morning meditations on the app. If you feel stressed, if you feel anxiety, we've got anxiety reducing meditations. Turn it on. Take a few moments for yourself. So that's what I love so much about the app is if you're struggling, if there's anything that kind of you need to, reconnect back to yourself, pull up your phone. It's right there. You can have access to us at any time of the day. So that's what's so great too, is something that we also educate our clients that do come in and see us in person is it's the consistency is where you're going to see the results. And so to really get that consistency, we do recommend the app because we don't have classes 24/7, right? So the app really is something I definitely recommend.
Great.
So yeah, but I
That's
don't have like a core, a main thing. When I think of it, it all kind of
that's
wraps
all right.
in together.
That's all
Yeah.
right. Maybe let's come from this side. Let's talk price points. Like, what is it on the low end that I can buy? Was it on the very high end that I can buy?
For the app or the in-person
The
sessions?
whole the
Or
whole spiel, the whole spiel that you do.
okay. Well, the cheapest, yeah, would definitely be the app. Well, it's free download. First of all, we do have some free content you can check out and use. And then it's $11 a month Canadian. So that's to get all access of the app. And then if you want the full year, it's 111. Where one drop-in class for 55 minutes here at the studio is $44 Canadian. And then we've got a retreat business as well, and that's around $3,000 to $4,900 for 7 days. That we're going to Bali in May. So yeah, the top end is the retreat, and then the lowest would be the app.
Yeah, very clear. Really quick, what tools do you use next to Passion.io, or like Zoom or anything to deliver the sessions?
No, we don't do yet Zoom. We just do everything right now, like off just the app, like the
Okay, cool.
template that you guys have set up, which is awesome because it's just easy to manage and create and edit.
Take me on a timeline real quick. Like, when did you launch the business as is?
Zenden. So we launched Zenden in 2017, and then 2021 was the app, and then we had our first retreat in Tulum, 2023. It was just this April. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, Real quick about the funnel from awareness, like finding out about you and then getting my credit card out. Uh, how does it usually work?
I guess like I keep thinking of all the different modalities. So just like everything kind of thing.
Yeah, the
Um,
typical thing, like I discover you on, let's say, Instagram, then I send you a
yeah.
direct message, you send me a link,
Okay.
I go to your bio, like Linktree or whatever, and then
Yeah. 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 So link. Also I do a lot of posts through like an Instagram story with a direct link. All goes through the website. I used to use like for the app, it was Passion.io, but we created a new like a just everything spiritual app.com, and then we funneled it through there. And yeah, mostly through website. And if you want to book in a classic in person, it's through Mind Body. So they also have like another app too that helps promote and stuff like marketing.
very clear. Let's move over to a section I call success. So how many paying customers do you have today?
Paying for the app.
Yeah, like across business. But the app is also, of course, super interesting. Let's say a typical month. I don't know what's a typical month for you, like October, November. Like how does
Yeah.
it typically look?
Um, I think it's around like over like between 5,000 to 10,000 with everyone included. So I think, yeah, if you look at the app with the in person and stuff. Yeah.
5 to 10,000 customers. That's huge. It's huge. huge. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's great. Another thing I would like to add too, just to help those that are, maybe on the fence or like, oh, how am I get like it's you don't have to consistently post. Like that's why I really utilize Instagram and TikTok because I noticed like I hadn't even today I actually just posted for the first time in like weeks on TikTok. Like I was very consistent for a long time and then now like take breaks. And I can take breaks because videos continue. And so I always post about the app. And I notice when I look at the signups in Passion, every other day there's new signups. I'm like, wow, I don't even promote it anymore, really. And so that's what's so amazing. The power of social media is to, create those pages to really promote and educate and share your product. And it's amazing how, yeah, you don't even have to continue a lot of the times. You're just always getting and it's word of mouth too, which I'm also noticing, which is awesome.
And can I just like we said 5 to 10,000? Can I say 7,500 and then multiply that with $11 a month Canadian? And so you're like in the 70,000s. So pretty much a 1 million Canadian run rate. Is that kind of like how the math goes, or how do I do the math?
I'm not too sure. My partner's more like the money guy, so I'm not too sure when it comes to like the logistics and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we do have quite a large following base because we have the app and then we have just some people that are just app users from all over the world and then we have like our in-person and then even just the retreats too. It's amazing. We actually on our last retreat to Tulum, a lot of people found us. It was through like the app as well and TikTok.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good. Just like, I wanna make sure, like, are you like above the 7 figure mark, below the 7 figure mark, on the way to the 7 figure mark?
Um, for everything, I think it's been above from if you put all the years together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got it. But on a single year, let's take 2023, it's like just shy of 1 million.
Yeah, I think it's around, yeah. Yeah, because we're expanding into a new space. The only thing I know the first couple years of our business, it was quite like the growth was really substantial. That's why we were about to move into another location. And then of course with the pandemic, everything kind of, and it took a while to kind of get back up there. And but yeah, I
That's a
think
good question, actually. Like, how has it grown over the, let's say, compared last year to this year? Is it like stable? Is it going up steadily? Like, how does it compare to a year ago?
It's it's good. It's, like, stable, but then there's sometimes it kinda has a dip, I find, too, but, yeah, it's just like I said before, like, how I look into the back system, like, "Oh, wow, there's more people." I'm not even promoting it, so it's just it and then all of a sudden, there's, like, a lot all at once, too, so I'm like, "Where are these people coming from?" Like, it's really interesting, and I think it is a lot to do with, yeah, the word of mouth, but then also as the continuous like, those posts on social media, they live there, and sometimes things just start speeding up, and all of a sudden, you're getting more traction on a video that you posted 2 years ago. So I'm finding that to be a big thing, and yeah, it's bringing a lot more people.
Let's talk about that. Like, that's the whole lead gen customer acquisition section. So you said TikTok is the biggest channel. Is it also the biggest one bringing you customers? And what is the geography of the audience? Is it mainly US or and Canada, I guess?
It's
Or
mainly US. Yeah, and that's what I love so much about it is that now we finally have something that we could offer them because they would always ask me and after, I can't be on live. So I would do like hours long almost every day of live stream back, when we were in lockdown and I'm like, I have to get back to work now. So they're like, I need more of this. And, we have finally this app that we could offer them.
yeah, really good. Um, Next to TikTok, right? Like, what is the well, let's say, what is the other most important channel for you? Do you have an email list? Is it Instagram, like, or is it just like
Yeah.
TikTok, 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 and that's like the
Yeah.
focus? And
TikTok, Instagram, and newsletter. And
uh-huh.
newsletter, 100%. I find sometimes too, if like, oh, the sales aren't doing that great, I'll just send out a newsletter and then it just, brings a lot of, paid products and services in through that funnel, I find. So yeah, newsletter is a big one. And especially I find our in person because people really were able to kind of create more of like an emotional connection. So I find that to be a lot. more growth in that area. So that's why even with the app, creating more of that like emotional connection with them, I think will really kind of go a long way too.
Let me now click a bit more on your TikTok, right? Because you're almost like 991,000, like almost a million, which is amazing. So, what's the secret to grow your TikTok? What was the secret to grow TikTok so effectively?
Yeah. Well, the app, or sorry, well, before, like, especially just consistency is the biggest thing. But it's funny because I actually got over a million, but it's when I started promoting the app, they started shadow banning me. So TikTok doesn't like it when you tell them to, like, leave the app to go to another app, which makes sense. If I had a business and everyone's jumping off to go to another app, I'm like, "Okay, I get it." So it has been hard to regain my algorithm back, and the following is, like, kind of dwindling away. Also, I don't do as many live streams anymore, so that's how I was really able to grow. I did, like, 3 hours of a live stream, and I got off, and 2 times it happened where I had 30,000 new followers. I was like, "Wow, I just did 3 hours behind." I was just, doing the bowls. So it's consistency too, and again, the algorithm has changed. So in the beginning when I started, it was 7-second videos. So I would do 7-second videos, do a little hook, make it entertaining, and then educational sometimes, inspirational, sharing a lot, like have all different kinds of videos, but posting like every day. That was a big one. And then, yeah, I've kind of lost the drive a little bit since they've shadow banned me. They started catching on. I was promoting another service. So I think the thing is, like, I was really promoting like a lot. So I think if you are to promote a service, just make sure you're spreading it out. So in that way, you're not upsetting TikTok.
Yeah,
So I
clear.
think Instagram is better for that. Like, they don't shadow ban, I don't think.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on, a year ago, how big was your audience there? Like your TikTok?
Sorry, was it a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago.
Did I have an audience there? Sorry, what was the
How big
question?
was TikTok a year ago? Christmas last year.
Yeah, yeah.
How big?
And
Like
TikTok,
right now, it's a million. How big was it a year ago?
oh, I think it was a million a year ago. So it was just the last couple of months it started to really,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
But
started on
it was
TikTok right
right when
away
I
or
promoted
Instagram? What was your first channel where you started?
Instagram. I started 2020 or 2013, kind of when it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
first
makes sense.
launched. And I noticed I was always, using that to help promote, and it's how actually we marketed, Zenden, because like, oh, we have this view, maybe, like we're the first to market anything like this in Canada. So I was like, maybe we'll have I don't know if you can really see the view, but
That's
it's
amazing.
a nice
Amazing.
mountain and water behind me. So I was like, what? If we get people in and take pictures and that's we didn't pay for marketing. It was just word of mouth from people posting in their Instagram story. And then all of a sudden everyone started to see and spread, or like, oh, there's this place, and it was really the view that got us to promote. So that's where I kind of use that same tactic on TikTok. So I think that's another thing too, is kind of being unique and showing something that kind of stands out is my
Yeah.
advice.
Just real quick, the let's say, how do you promote on TikTok without getting shadow banned? Because like this retreat, you can it all is a call to action, like, hey, come to our retreat and so on. Here's the link. Like, is it essentially to not like have any external links and you're just like talking about it and people will figure it out, or how do you promote an external product or service without being with like while growing and not like being banned?
Okay, so biggest one, because I was working with an agency before too, and they noticed a lot of their creators like, oh, they're saying the same thing. This other creator had an app too, and they got shadow banned. So you never, ever, ever say link in bio. That's a big one. And something you'll notice too, if you say it, all of a sudden, maybe other videos before were performing really well, and you're like, why isn't this one? And then if you have another account and go into to look, like especially if you leave it in the comments, TikTok will hide the comment, because sometimes I'll write in my comments like link in bio, or I used to do that. And then I was like, from another account, why doesn't it show? So it was censoring stuff. And so that was a big one. Never say link in bio. You have to be really careful with the way that you word things, because if it is like click on this, they don't, anything that's going to help like leave the app, or kind of take them away from their product, then yeah, it's you have to be very careful, and maybe don't be overkill because when the app was launched, I was like, "Oh my god!" And every TikTok live stream, I would always say it at the end of the live stream, and so I think they started catching on. And because I did a campaign with TikTok in my early days where they paid me for like a live stream, and I did this whole thing with them specifically. I know the girl from TikTok Canada in Toronto. She follows me because she tells me, like I see your, your page and stuff, and because for a while there, I was like, what's wrong with my page? I was, contacting them. So I think maybe they caught on. They saw that I was doing that. So that's why you do have to be careful. They do see your account, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the biggest thing is just, maybe say it in a way that's discreet that will make them want to click on it without having to maybe tell them.
Yeah, yeah, very clear. Thanks. That was very
Yeah.
helpful. Let's move on really quickly. Like, how big is how many people do you have? Employees, right? Like, is it you? Is it how many other people are there? And then also, like, what are the big items on your overhead? Is it the studio itself? Is it tools? Is it ads? Like, what is it?
So right now there's four of us. Before COVID, it was like eight of us employees. But now when we're moving to the new space, because it's three studios in one, with 10,000 square feet, we're going to be doing a lot of different services. So we're going to have, I don't even know how many employees. We're at the beginning of that. So we're going to open it in like 10, 12 months from now. We're just working with architects right now. So that's where we're kind of headed. So the biggest expense, yeah, really is the studio, like the monthly rent and just everything that makes it run, like just the subscriptions and all that to help it kind of keep going. Of course the instruments were really expensive, but we're not constantly having to buy more.
No, that's clear. Let's talk about the future real quick. So, can you get it up to 10x by yourself? And what's also the best strategy to win it really big in the next 12 months?
Yeah. I think the biggest, yeah, I definitely, I can, with how much power I put behind and straight, like the, consistency, if I kind of go back on TikTok and, put the videos out and I have been thinking of some ways to take some of the meditations that I've already put on there and plant it onto TikTok, which I've already done with like the full moon and new moon. And that's where we get a lot of signups. And so if I do that, then definitely I can see it, just growing exponentially. Just because my focus right now is on this big studio that we're moving into. I have been kind of taking a little bit of a break on just like the promoting side of things, but it's awesome to see when I go back into the metrics. I'm like, wow, there's new people signing up every day, and seeing that it's continuing, and I really don't have to do much promoting on my end. Just gives me more of that drive to constantly create. Like we're always like still continuing, adding more content, more meditations, and people are asking for more sleep sounds because they listen to us every night to help them sleep. And
Really cool.
so that it's still it's nice to know that people aren't just unsubscribing and leaving us. Like we're continuing to maintain. A lot of people, like they've been on since 2021. It's awesome to see that.
Very cool. Next section I call Famous Five. It's really fast paced. You can answer in one word. I will also increase the speed. We're almost through. What's your favorite business book?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That one, yeah, that one definitely was very inspiring.
Let's move on. Favorite person you're studying?
Favorite which, sorry?
Favorite person you are studying, your role model?
Person?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tony Robbins, I would guess I would say.
Love it. What's your favorite social media channel for inspiration?
TikTok.
What's your favorite online tool for building the company?
Um, Canva or CapCut.
Yep. Biggest thing on your mind right now?
This big studio we're moving into. Taking up all my time.
Moving over to a personal section, how many hours do you sleep per night?
7 hours
What's
about.
the situation? Married, single, any kids?
Uh, Common law, no kids for four animals.
Yep. What's your age?
36.
Cool. Final question. We also want to give some advice to the audience. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Continue to dream big and just, yeah, overcome the things that are standing in your way, like the bad habits, addictions, because that's the thing that's really can stunt your growth and just crush your dreams. So if I was 20, because I got sober at 27. So if I told my 20-year-old self, like, get sober, and stop wasting all these 7 years that are ahead of you. Yeah.
This is Carrie. She's the co-founder of Zen and Meditation in Vancouver, Canada. She has built an impressive following on TikTok with 1 million followers. She helps others to heal. With Reiki sessions, for example, in her studio, but also through the app now. Price points are from free to $11 a month, all the way to $5,000 for a retreat. Um, People usually follow or go through a link in the bio or watch an Instagram story, come to the webpage, and then buy. She started the Zen then retreat in 2017, and then now the two retreats coming in okay this year. She has 5 to 10,000 customers a month. She is just shy of the $1 million mark, but will crack it hopefully and very likely next year with the new projects that she's starting, like a new studio that she's opening up. She is like doubling down on TikTok, but is not taking it as consistent as before. But it's not a problem because she has put up a loyal following. The cost base is lean and mean, but the studio is like the biggest cost item on the overhead, and she wants to embrace more the full moon, new moon periods to promote and to grow. She loves Tony Robbins, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, gets decent sleep, and is crushing it. So thank you so much for sharing your passion and taking us to the next
Thank
level.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having me.